Welcome back to All the Work, my modification slash awesomeification slash restoration of my 1987 Ski Supreme. This work is all taking place in succession with the work from the previous video. However, I am 3 weeks behind in editing any videos. So I am talking over this video more than 3 weeks after I finished recording the last one. What you're looking at right there is me making a frame that I'm going to drape plastic over and potentially be able to use the angle grinder to sand down the gel coat from the floor to make it easier to put the whole thing back together at the end. Now the frame's going to come into play a little bit later here. I'm kind of doing things a little backwards to start. I am cleaning the foam out of a hole. This is one of my 6-inch holes that alternates with the 1-inch holes. Now this is taking considerably longer than I had expected. I thought this was going to be a 2 to 3 day, get the foam out, no big deal. It ended up taking well over a week to get all the foam out. It was tedious. My forearms really hurt at the end of this. It was really tough on the tendons on my wrists. Those felt like I needed Tommy John surgery afterwards. It was super unpleasant. And I put in a lot more hours than expected. Here I am preparing to use that frame that I had built earlier. I'm using those orange wash gloves to be my kind of a glove box idea is what I'm going for. So I'm draping the plastic over the frame and duct taping all the plastic to the floor. I'm really trying to contain all the dust. I don't want to create that issue that I had twice before where I've made a massive dust storm. And so then I cut a slit in the side of it, put my hand in that slit, and you can see I did run the grinder a little bit there. A little bit of dust puffed out, but there it goes. It's working pretty well. However, I cannot see through the plastic, which I didn't anticipate, and I peel it up. You can see me vacuuming up all the dust. Pretty well contained, and there's 2 little spots where I've ground away the gel coat to be able to drill my holes in. That was an argument over the toy ice creams that the boys were having. I would like to go back and re-edit this stuff, but I am way behind in schedule, and you're getting what you're getting. Here we are, day 46, a little more of the same. I'm going to attempt my frame glove box grinding method again. The whole idea here is that I'll cut the gel coat out, get down to the fiberglass, drill the hole in, and then I'm going to save the hole that I drill to put back into the floor to get more structural integrity out of it. It's really important that I sand down first, though, so that my layers are the right thickness. Now everything progressed way slower through this phase than I had anticipated. I thought this whole Swiss cheese method was going to speed it up and I was going to get all the foam out in 3 days and be fiberglassing 2 days after that and just get it all back together. No sweat. Everything through this process took much longer than anticipated. And it dawned on me that all the other things I've done, I've seen in some way or another on YouTube. Because the Swiss cheese method is my own method and I'm making it up as I go, I don't have those pictures in my mind of what works and what doesn't, or what someone else has done, and so I'm really running blind, and there's a lot more sitting and thinking and just time that I wasn't anticipating. So here it is. I'm still trying the glove box thing. I think this is the last one I try. I end up just giving up on it because I can't see through the plastic and it's a lot of setup, and it really just didn't work as good as I had anticipated. But you live and you learn. The tools I'm using to get the foam out are a kind of a modified flat bar or a pry bar. It looks a little more like a crowbar than a flat bar. And then I have a small little blue sharp flat bar, a little pry bar. So these are just tools that I had around the garage. Actually, they end up being pretty good for the job. Well, maybe they're not pretty good because it took so long to do. But I tend to chop away at the foam with the crowbar, get it chunked up. It is nice to get big chunks out. It does feel good when you get a big chunk out, but usually I'm chunking it up with that. Get as much as I can with that, and then I come in with the thin, smaller blue flat bar, and then I get the foam off of the roof of the void in between the holes, which is kind of the toughest part, as well as chip it away from the side, because the foam does stick to the walls really, really strongly. As you can see, this is tedious work, and what looks like a small section of boat is taking me an exceptionally long amount of time. Here I am switching from the glove box and grinder technique to the shop vac and orbital sander technique. Now, the reason I didn't start here is because I only have 80 grit sandpaper. You can go all the way down to 40 grit sandpaper, however Home Depot and the Ace Hardware are out. I have ordered some from Amazon, however they didn't show up this time. So I am basically just leaning on an orbital until all the gel coat's gone and I'm down to fiberglass. It was somewhere about in here in the process that I realized that in my mind I had only ever seen this process as a 3-cavity situation. I really had only respected the non-stringer cavities. And then once I got going on it, I then realized that there are 5 cavities, or 5 voids that I need to get into. So it's 5 rows of holes that I need going across the floor. Now this is a lot more holes than I anticipated. So now I start getting a little bit nervous about the integrity of the floor. But I am committed, and this is the way we're going to keep going. This was a Saturday, and due to the slow nature of this project, I had permission from the wife to put in pretty much a full day on the boat. So here comes Luke bringing the water ski boot that broke his ankle over to the house. He is severely hobbled from hurting his ankle on my water ski, and he's doing a little day drinking with his buddy Brendan. So I'm not getting any work done, and here come the beers. I should clarify that Luke did not break his ankle, it was just a severe sprain, and it appears that my water ski that sat around for 9 years in the boat that was sitting around for 9 years may have rotted out a little bit. It's a totally awesome water ski, just a bad boot on it. Luke wanted to try his hand at digging some foam, so he hobbled his way in the boat and got about 1.5 feet worth of foam removed. It was fun hanging out with those guys, but now it's time to get back to work. Ron Tanis removed the passenger seat to do all the repairs on the boat that I watched him do. I'm not sure if I should have gone with that route at this point. It's definitely hard maneuvering around the passenger seat that's still remaining here, but I think it would have been pretty difficult for me to put it back in, so I don't know. It's 6s. Should I have taken the seat out? Should I have left it in like I did? I don't know. Sunday morning, I'm out in the boat in the morning with my coffee, more of the same. My buddy Jake told me that the videos get a little boring because the camera's in one spot the whole time, so here's a new angle. This angle gives you a good view of what exactly I'm doing. There's my crowbar that I'm using, my modified crowbar. To the right there, to the right, there's that little blue flat bar that I use. And you can see how tedious it is, and I'm really working between 2 to 3 holes, just trying to get all the foam out from in between them. Alright, come on. Time to get back to being a dad.